Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Energy healing is so
up,
huge.
I'm Jason
now. I've been around.
I love
forever,
that music,
but people are finally
people all over the
realizing
country.
how great it is for
so does something else.
humans. Same thing
Hunger.
for animals.
15 million kids struggle
as
with
well.
hunger right here in
Energy
America.
is all of us.
Yet every
and
year,
she's
billions
somebody
of
that
pounds
can
of
help
surplus food in the U.S.
your animal, your pet,
instead of
heal
going to the
from
children in need.
things.
Feeding America is
better
working
in
to
life
change
in terms of
the Feeding America
and,
nationwide network
maybe
of
there's some
food
physical
banks
issues
rescues this surplus
she
of
works
food
with
to
all
help
types of
provide
animals.
meals to families in virtually every community in the United States.
Tatiana Maldonado
Including
is back with us. Welcome. Hey,
they just can't do this alone.
Hi, Steve.
Join me in the fight against hunger in America.
Good. I'd
more
love
information
us if we could
get involved
to go through
visit feedingamerica.org.
of Reiki.
That's
So when you're
feedingamerica.org.
working with an animal, how that all goes.
Together we can solve hunger.
All from start to finish.
Together,
could we do that?
We're Feeding America.
Yes, I hear some
message from Feeding America
background noise from you, or like something's playing in the background.
And now it's gone.
There we go.
You know what? It was unwanted energy, and I got rid of it.
Okay, good.
You had this look on your face, and I'm like, did I say her name wrong? No, I got it right. But she's like, what is going on with that?
I was trying to listen. I'm like, what is that? Okay. But yes, we can definitely go through how the session works. Whether it's private session, whether it's long distance, or whether it's one-on-one, or even with the bonding. I always introduce myself first to the pet. I let them smell me, whether it's a cat, a horse, a bird, a dog, whatever animal it might be. All animals work first with sense, sight, and hearing. So you always want to present yourself in that way so that they feel comfortable and they know that you're not targeting them. I know for us humans, it's hard when we see dogs or cats or animals we want to touch. We want to go straight to their face. And it's actually a very personal space for them. And they don't like that. It's kind of somebody, coming up to you and being like, hey, Steve, all in your face. And you're like, whoa, I don't know you. So smell is very important. So you always want to allow them to smell you, get comfortable. It gives me time to kind of gauge their energy levels, how they're perceiving me, how they're perceiving the environment, what they're anticipating is going to happen. If I'm the good doctor, or the one that's going to, prick them in the butt or give them a vaccine or something. So a good sense of energy, exchanging of energy, and then the client is present, the owner of the client is present. So that all of that comes into play to kind of set the tone for them. And then I'll reach down to their level when it's a dog or a cat, and I'll sit on the floor. If it's a horse, I always reach out so they can smell me. Their sense of smell is super important for them. And just let them know I'm respecting their boundaries, their personal space, and let them approach me if it's something that they're comfortable with. If they want to still have their bubble of 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, whatever it is, I allow that. And I'll do the Reiki from a longer distance. And then I will check their chakras with the pendulum, and I'll do it with all of the animals. Doesn't matter what it is. Every animal, including humans, we all have our 7 chakras. And so I do this in front of the client so the client can see and witness what chakras are open, which ones are closed. And then we'll discuss what the intention is that the client wants to focus on with the Reiki, because normally whatever chakras are closed or open, they integrate with the intention. It has to do with the intention. So it's cool for the client's owner to see, oh, wow, they're having digestion issues and their sacral is closed, or it needs, some type of movement going on, or they're having cardiac issues and the heart chakra is shut down, or they suffer from migraines and the crown chakra is shut down. So it's very interesting to see how they work cohesively, and how usually the chakras that are closed have to do with whatever medical condition or emotional issues that they're having.
Before we go, can we go back to the pendulum? Because I'm always fascinated by that, and I've seen it work. Do you wave it over the different chakras, or is it something verbal? How does it all work?
So absolutely. So you can do both. If the animal is willing and is still and is comfortable with you having something, an unknown object to them, hovering over them, if they allow you to do that and they're comfortable, you can go from crown chakra all the way down to the root chakra. So you would touch every single chakra and you would watch the pendulum move either from side to side, forward and back, however you've programmed your own pendulum. Everybody has their own way of programming it. Or if it stays still like you see now, then that would let me know that the chakra is closed, there's no energy going through, and that we would need to work on that chakra. Wow. If the animal is big, if the animal's in the ocean, a dolphin, if it's a gorilla who's in captivity, if you're at the zoo, if it's a tiger, then yes, you would hold it over your palm and you would verbally say the name of the animal, and then you would say the chakra. So let's say you would say Finn's crown chakra, and you would watch if the pendulum moves side to side, forward and back in a circle, or if it stays still. And then you would just say the name of the animal and the name of the chakra and watch the movement of the pendulum. And that works just as well. It also works when you're doing long distance. If I can't be in the same room with the animal, that's the way that I would do checking of the chakras, is the name, visualizing the chakra, visualizing the animal, and the pendulum will tell me if it's open or closed.
Wow. So you answered my next question, whether it can be done virtually, and it can.
Absolutely. Yes. And then after we check the chakras, I always have the client watch me take out crystals or stones, and I have the animal select whatever stone they're attracted to. And it's very interesting because every animal is attracted to a specific crystal or stone just as we are, because the body needs its properties, or it needs the healing from it. It needs that type of vibration. And even this weekend, I had a horse that is suffering from a condition called white lining on his hoof. And he picked out the howlite stone, which is specifically for bone structure, and that has to do with his hoof. So it was very interesting how he picked out that specific one along with pyrite. And these are magnetic stones, magnetic crystals. They have very high frequency properties, and they can extract any negative energy or anything that's affecting the bone, the ligaments and all that in the body. And he did select these as well. His name was Finn.
So let's go back to that for just one sec. Yeah. How does, let's say, a horse select a certain crystal?
Well, for one, you can definitely go on my Instagram at howlingohm.com. I have a horse named Luna, who I present the crystals to. And if you present it, if they lick it, if they try to chew it, if they put it in their mouth, that's a yes. And you can see in my video on Howling Ohm on the IG how she licks the selenite, and she's 1000% wants that stone. I offer her the rose quartz, and she also picks it with her mouth. And then I offer her the amethyst, and she turns her head right away, signifying I don't want that.
Wow.
And yes.
Same. Oh, and by the way, you mentioned selenite.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I just always have it right here.
Yes, one of the best clearing stones you can have. It's so powerful. It cleanses all of the other stones that you have. So if you ever have other crystals, stones, you can place it on the selenite, near the selenite, and the selenite will literally cleanse each stone on its own. It's a very, very good crystal to have. So yeah, so you can see the dogs do the same thing. You offer crystals or stones, and they will either lick it, they'll bite it, they'll put it in their mouth, they'll pick it up and drop it, or they'll simply turn their head away, or they'll snort. They'll signify, make a movement where you know it's a yes or a no. And it's very interesting to see. And I love for the clients to see that, because it's a wow moment. It's a aha moment. And they're in awe. They're just like, oh my God, they can't believe it. So yeah, so they will naturally select that. And then the last step is You can do essential oils for aromatherapy, or I also use Bach flower remedies, which is amazing. And each Bach flower remedy has their own purpose. This one can be feel secure. The other one is for calming. They have for stress, for rescue pets that are stressed out. They have to feel more confident, connecting with others. They have one called Hope for animals who are shut down, who feel like there's no longer any reason to live. And it's the same as the crystals. I will open it up like this. I will have them smell it, and they will either love it, lick it, want the bottle, take the bottle from me, or they'll turn their head, they'll snort, they'll walk away. And you'll know if it's a yes or a no. And same with like the crystals, they'll always pick the ones that their body needs. So it's always interesting to see what they select. The horse that had the issue with the hoof yesterday, Finn, he selected the muscle blend, and it said sore muscle blend. And that let the owner know. She felt bad and said, you know, I've been so focused on healing his hooves that I've completely forgot that he might have muscle pain because he's overcompensating with his feet, the distribution of weight, that he's sore in the body. And so she said, wow, it's interesting that he picked that blend out, because now it opened up her eyes and said, oh my God, maybe, you know, I need to get him some acupressure massage. Maybe he needs a chiropractor out here. His muscles are feeling tight. It's not just the feet. It's affecting everything. So it's very cool how they communicate with us. This is what I need. This is what's hurting me. This is what I like. This is what I don't like, because that's how they communicate with us. And with that, I activate the Reiki symbols, and then we start the Reiki session, and I focus on what the client has requested and then what the animal has told me in the selection of the chakras, the crystals, and the oils. So I take both into account, because the animal is always going to tell you what they really need, even though we feel we might know, like, oh yes, we need work on this, but he's going to really tell me, yeah, I might need work on that, but I really need work on this. And so we start the Reiki session, and I typically record it so that the owner can see, so I can have it, I can watch it over and see how the animal leads the session, where they tell you that they need the Reiki, how they position themselves, if they want it in the back, in the middle, in the front. Yesterday, I had a horse, Aztec. He's a Mustang, beautiful horse. And yesterday, he just wanted the Reiki all in his face. And I was like, okay. And every time I tried to move, he was like, no, 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 no. He kept putting his face in my hands, and he just wanted the Reiki on his face. So I said, okay. So he led the session that way. And then once the session is done, it can be anywhere from 15 minutes. It can be 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I've had some animals want a whole hour. Then after we're complete, I do a sweep that sweeps off any energy that is not good for them, any energy that doesn't serve them, any stagnant energy, we sweep it out. And then I check the chakras again, and lo and behold, the chakras are normally always open, all of them. So whatever was shut is now open, they're balanced, energy's flowing, they feel good, they feel light. And then that would be the end of the session.
Wow. I know you specialize in animals, but I got to believe that you've done Reiki on humans.
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. Which is easier?
For me, it's easier on the animals, and I want to say it's because I connect with them instantly, and I just have this connection to animals. I've tested it out, and when I've done it on humans, although I get good feedback, and they're able to verbalize and tell me, yes, I felt tingly in my body, or I felt heat on my right arm, or my chest felt pressure, or they can tell me what they felt. But for me, it takes longer for me to connect when I'm doing Reiki on a human than when I'm doing it on an animal. With the animal, it's instant. Like, I can connect. I feel the energy coming out. I feel the heat. I feel the power. I feel the vibrations. I can feel the tingly in my body versus on a human.
Do you feel that you can communicate with animals?
I don't want to say that I'm an animal communicator because I don't know that I'm at that level. But I will say that during Reiki sessions and even off Reiki sessions, I do have things come through, you know, pictures, or I'll have words that come through, or visions that come through. And so if I'm working on a client and those visions come in, I'll always let the client know, hey, by the way, you know, I felt this feeling, or I saw this word, or this came to me, or I saw this type of picture. And I want to say 9 times out of 10, the client can place what it is that I'm saying. She's like, yeah, they love the warm water, or yeah, they love swimming, or yeah, they always feel better after we take them to the beach, or whatever it is, you know, or yeah, we used to do compresses, or even with Beast, when we were working on his anxiety levels, you know, he liked to play certain games, and those things came through that would stimulate his mind. And so I asked the owner, she was like, yeah, we used to do that when he was a puppy. And I'm like, well, I think he likes it, because that's the sense I got. So I do have things come through. I do sometimes hear animals speak to me out of the blue. So I don't want to say that I am an animal communicator, but I do have things that come through to me, whether it's during a session or sometimes just randomly.
So I totally believe it. And my first Reiki session was a virtual. And I don't know if I shared this with you, but just what you said, after the session was over, and we didn't even talk. Like, it was just all texting. I'm going to start at 8 o'clock, get in a comfortable spot. Okay, sure. So I'm just chilling on the couch. And then like 8:45, I get a text. All right, I'm done. And I need to share something with you. I'm like, okay, what? And she said, I don't know. You took me, I saw this vision of you taking me on this journey on a little boat, and there was reeds and weeds all over the place. And we're looking at little sea life. She goes, I don't know why I got that, but I'm just giving it to you. And that is, for me, that's my Zen spot. I love to go kayaking, and I always go in the weeds, you know, marshy area, and I'll look down in the water. Sometimes I'll go where it's shallow and I can see a bunch of stuff, but I'll just float there. And that's my, okay,
Yeah.
I'm good. And we're talking about energy and clearing and positivity. And that's what she pulled up. And
Yes.
there's no way that she would have gotten that unless
Correct.
there was something, some kind of energy exchange there. You're not going to go on, you know, Facebook. I think the last time I posted a kayaking picture was like 4 years ago. And you know, it's like, it would be,
right.
You'd have to search hard. And that was just one random picture. So
Yes.
there's definitely something there. Like when you get those images from an animal where they're sort of telling you that, you know, I like this, I don't like that. It's legit.
Correct.
Totally
Absolutely.
legit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had that with this new client I got last week. Dog's name is Blue. She's older. She's 13. She's having some hip issues. And she gave me a vision of a white room that felt very light, very just breezy. And so I told the owner, I don't know why, but I saw this room in a corner. It was very breezy. It was white. And turns out it's one of her favorite spots. And it's not even in that house. It's in another house. I guess she has a vacation house, and it's somewhere, another house that she has taken her dog to before. And she loves that room. So I always say it. I get clients that'll say at the moment, no, it doesn't ring a bell. And then a week later, it'll be like, oh my God, I know what that was. It was this. And I'll say, oh, good. At least I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No, you're not. And I'm going to say, you know, there's maybe you can't communicate back and forth, but you can interpret things from animals. So there's definitely a connection. It's crazy when you think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, because what I always tell the animal, I call the animal my client, at the beginning of the session is, my name is Tatiana, and I'll say this telepathically or under my breath, and I'll say to them, my name is Tatiana. I'm here to be your voice for the next 45 minutes. I'm here to help you. I'm here to make you feel good. If there's anything you need to tell me, or if there's anything you want me to feel, I'm here for you to feel it, to hear you, and to try to help you in these 45 minutes. And I really think that helps, because that's when I'll receive some type of information where they're able to say, oh, I can finally get through to my owner, or get through to my handler, or whoever it is, and let them know I don't like this, or I'm not feeling this, or I'm feeling pain here, or whatever it is that they want to communicate to us, I can communicate to the owner and say, hey, I got this. So I always feel it's important for any healer, communicator, or anybody, even the owner, just to say, I'm here with you. I'm present. Here to bond with you. If there's anything that you need to let me know, if there's anything you'd like to tell me, I'm your voice for the next however long, because sometimes we don't have time to be with our pets all the time. And let's say you have 20 minutes out of your day to sit with your cat and say, you know what, I'm dedicating these 20 minutes to you. Is there anything you want to tell me that I haven't been paying attention? And let's say you're holding your book. I know you said you like to read. Maybe your cat ends up swiping his paw on something. And let's say it's an item that he likes, or something that makes him feel good, or something that connects the both of you, or maybe something that you like that makes you feel good. And he's letting you know in a way. And you're like, oh my God, he just pawed and this thing fell. And this is what it means to me. And that's a way of them communicating. Like, okay, they listen when you say, I'm here for these 20 minutes. I'm here to be your voice. I'm here to make you feel good. Thank you. What is it you'd like to tell me? Am I missing something?
Well, you bring up a really good point in that they can pick up on energy probably better than anybody, because Absolutely. We can do it, but our minds are always focused on different things, and we got have to pay the rent, the mortgage, we're thinking about all these things. They think about being grounded, eating, having fun, being happy.
They're in the present. We have to meditate to be in the present, so we get these thoughts and stuff. They don't have to do that. They're naturally in the present all the time.
And that's my point. If we're thinking something, they probably can pick up. Like a lot of times, right? When people will say that, my dog, I think he knows that I'm sad today. I think he's getting that. He or she probably is. They're picking up on what you're putting out there. So
100%. By the time you put your foot on that floor to get up from your bed, they already know how you're feeling. If you're waking up in a bad mood, in a sad mood, in a happy mood, encouraged mood, motivated, depressed, whatever it is that you're feeling, as soon as you put your foot down to get up from that bed, they've already felt it. 1,000%. And horses are even more intuitive. There's a saying that says, when you're on a horse and even next to a horse, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, they're feeling it.
So be careful what you're thinking. Because my dog, and I have him every other week, I try to take him out as much as I can. And sometimes he needs a little more time to go to the bathroom. So there's been a couple of times where, fortunately, I don't have rugs. It's all hardwood. He'll leave something there. And, at first I look at it, I'm like, and I want to get mad. And sometimes in my mind, I'm thinking, but I got to let it go. It's not his fault. I know that, but I don't want him picking up on that vibe.
Right.
That for that split second. It's only for that split second. Cause I get it. It's like, I try to, busy life, try to take him out in the morning, halfway through the day, whatever. But they can, I guess, lack of a better description, they can read your mind. They can read your energy.
Absolutely. I mean, you can test it out without even speaking. If you walk through your door to greet your animal in a happy way, watch their reaction. If you close the door, reopen it, walk in an angry way, like if somebody just told you off and you come in stomping, watch their reaction. If you come in, close the door and come in and you're sad, watch their reaction, and you will see a different reaction for each one, because they can pick up and sense that energy instantly.
Wow. And it's also, if you've had a rough day and now they're kind of all over you, and maybe you're like, I have a kitten, and he does that. Actually, I just got a text that I'm getting another kitten too. but he'll be all in my face, and it's like, oh, well, you need attention. Like, give me a minute. Let me get something to eat. But you know what? They're probably in your face because they want to comfort you, because they can pick up on you got stuff going on, and I want to help you out with that.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's exactly what I know. And sometimes we're like, oh my God, just give me 2 minutes. It's annoying. But really what they're trying to tell you is like, it's okay. I'm here. There's still love. You don't need to be upset or sad. So
How many people watching this or listening to it are saying to themselves, I really feel guilty now for all the time.
I know.
Right? Well, now we know. And that's why you're so great in making it clear in terms of energy, excuse me, and how it all works. HowlingOhm.com is the website, HowlingOM.com.
Yes.
I'm sure anybody just starting out thinking about Reiki energy for their pet, you can direct them with a free consult out of the gate.
Absolutely. And for people who are living in Miami, if you check out my Instagram, we're doing our first Reiki circle, our first dog Reiki circle. It is for dogs. A lot of people have asked, is it for humans? I said, no, it's for dog Reiki circle on Sunday, February 5th at 5 p.m. It's the full moon. This is a snow moon next month.
Wow.
And so I'll be holding it at the Zen Garden. We have 3 spots left. Everybody's super excited. So if you're listening to this and you're in Miami, come join us. The first Reiki circle is free, and you won't regret it. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be relaxing. The dogs are gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
What a great idea. Wow. And you know what? I'll take my dog to a dog park every once in a while, just let him run along with the other dogs. Imagine doing that where there's some potential healing involved. Great idea. Yes. Wish they did that around me. HowlingOM.com, HowlingOM.com. Tatiana, always great talking with you. I really appreciate it.
You too, Steve.
Thank you. All right, we'll talk soon. And we'll be right back. Hang on.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.